What's the best placement for side-firing woofers? This question comes to us from Naved in Karachi, Pakistan. You know, sorry. Paul's going to start digressing. It is stunning to me how we can communicate with each other, you and me, from anywhere in the world. I mean, Naved's in Karachi, Pakistan. I've never been there. I've been to India, which is, well, it's closer than Boulder to Pakistan. But it is stunning to me. I still can remember back in the Genesis technology days with Arnie Nudell, having somebody, we used to write letters. Yeah, clack, 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 or scribble, scribble, scribble. We'd write letters to people, answering their questions. Customers would write to us, and stick a stamp on an envelope and put it in the mail, and 3 to 5 days later, the person would read it. A very different experience. And I can still remember someone saying, well, have you tried email yet? What the hell is the email? Electronic mail? It seemed like an oxymoron. And here we are today. That's all we do, right? I don't write any letters. I email, hundreds of emails a day, and I talk to people in Karachi, Pakistan. Mind-boggling, mind-boggling. All right. Paul, I'm watching your series regularly, learning a lot from your knowledge and the way you explain. Thank you. I have Yamo towers with side-firing woofers in my home theater system. And my question is, what's the proper placement regarding those woofers? Facing each other, opposite, or both on the same side? I have dual subs placed below the screen. Appreciate your help in this regard. Well, the quick answer to your question, Naveed, is that you want them facing the outside. You don't want them, as we have them here, facing inside. Now, someone might say, well, wait a minute, Mr. Expert. How come you got them facing inside? These are Arnie Nudell's personal reference pair, and these are the speakers that we are using as our reference to design our new loudspeakers, the AN series that will be out hopefully at the end of 2019. And we'll be showing them at Expona in Chicago coming up here. So I don't know when this video launches, but if you are in the Chicago area and you're going to Expona, come see the AN series, which I'm pointing right across the room to the other side of the room where the AN3 is living. Anyway, these speakers have dual 12-inch woofers each, so one on each side. And that's just the way Arnie wanted it, which is fine because you get this spherical pattern that comes out. But if you only have one woofer, put them to the side. The other thing I would like to suggest to you, and I know in your Yamos, or Jamos, I think they're properly pronounced Yamo, but I think a lot of people like to call them Jamos, because why? Because they jam, right? That they are going to set the frequency of which the low-pass filter, or how high in frequency those woofers are going to go. That's probably already set by Yamo. But in general, for the do-it-yourselfer and for the inquisitive among you, you want to keep the frequency low, 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 low. Meaning not how low it goes, but how high it doesn't go. So if you remember some of our talks, a low-pass filter, as opposed to a high-pass filter, is what we use on the top of a woofer, because we want a woofer to go up here, nice, 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 and then start rolling off as it goes up in frequency. So a low-pass filter will pass everything below a certain level. Now that frequency wants to be low because as frequencies go up, so too does directionality. So these tweeters are very directional. If I move my ear, a quarter of an inch or an inch away from my listening position, it's going to change my perception of where this driver is, because it is very directional, very short wavelengths, very short. You can imagine if a wavelength is this short, for example, then as it hits my ear, if I move my ear, then I'm going to get a different part of that. And so that's how, and the difference between, left and right ears is how we tell directionality. Which one hits first, how long it takes to get to the other ear. That's all how your brain figures all this stuff out. Yeah, it's doing a lot of processing real quick. But as the frequency goes down, the wavelength increases. And it gets longer and longer and longer to where we get to sometimes 10, 20 feet. So in those so the lower the frequency, the less directional, the less ability, the less different we have to discern where something's coming from, and that is of course because in a wavelength that's this long, it's harder and harder for your brain to tell, which part of that long wave hit here first, and how long did it take to get over here? Well, you're actually surrounded by that wave entirely. So at one point you can't tell where it's coming from, and that point is probably around, I don't know, something below say 80, 100 to 80 hertz or below, not directional. So keep the frequency low, keep the woofers pointed to the outside. Yada, yada, yada. All right, talk to you later.